Hello learners, I am Snigdha Pandey. Today we are going to study an organized crime. The topic of organized crime, which is a new in Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, that means which was not in the old IPC Indian Penal Code 1860. So it is a new updation or it is newly added in the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita 2023. So first of all, we would like to discuss that what is organized crime. As we have already discussed that Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita explicitly newly added this organized crime under section 111 means 111. So it was not in the old IPC. So what is the motive or the purpose of putting this organized crime concept in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita? And what was the gap which the lawmakers wants to fulfill to introduce this concept of organized crimes by putting this in the chapter in the section 111 and 112. So first of all, we would let's begin with the introduction or the meaning of organized crime. That what is organized crime? An organized crime means a systematic and continuous activity by a group of people. So, organized crime, whenever there is a crime, organized crime, that would be done by a group of people. So, as I have already said, that it is a systematic and a continuous activity, and it is done by a people or a gang, by a group of people or by a gang who work together to commit a crime. And the purpose of this organized crime is to make money, is to be in the power or to influence. So these, we can say that these offenses are not done suddenly. These are very well planned, these are very well funded, and these are very, they looks like that they are running a business of a crime. So what is organized crime? Organized crime is a well systematic, continuing activity, very well planned and very well funded and run like a business. Then let's just discuss about that what are the main features of an organized crime. The organized crime, first of all, is a group activity. As we have already discussed, an individual's crimes in the old IPC, Indian Penal Code, in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita itself. But organized crime is not an individual crime. It's like the where before individuals used to murder, one person used to murder another person, next person used to escort another person. But in this in this organized crime, there is no or a zero role of an individual. This is wholly a group activity, and it means that it is not a person's act. It is at least an act of two or more person. So first of all, what is the first feature of organized crime? That it is a group activity. Second one is that it is a continuing activity. A continuing means that the groups keep doing the same crime again and again repeatedly. So organized crime is first of all a group crime, and secondly it is a continuing activity. Continuing activity means that it the group or a gang of the crime who is doing an organized crimes do it regularly or do it repeated. Third one is that what what is the purpose of the organized crime? The main purpose of the group or a gang should be to earn money, whether to earn money or to gain power or to for through illegal means. So the third key feature of organized crimes is to is that there should be a purpose to do a crime, for the for earning money or gaining power or any for through illegal means. Third one, next feature of organized crime is that it is a serious crime. Why it is serious crime? Actually, the individual uses to the we have studied an individual crimes like it usually murders, extortion that was done separately, kidnapping, and abduction, human trafficking, and arms smuggling. So that was done individually by a person to another person. But in organized crimes, when these crimes join together, for example, there is a gang who join together to murder one person, and to extort money from the family of that person. So there are two crimes. When we used to study the old IPC, there were only individual crimes. Now, when these all crimes are grouped together and then done by a group or a gang of a people, then that will be covered under organized crime. Okay. So fourth feature that is that they are done under a group. And last feature of this organized crime, that there is a well maintained structure of a crime. Well maintained structure means that they organizes the crime in a very well mannered, or they in a planned activities like a company. For example, they are doing a they do the crime like they are running a company. Suppose we have in a company like workers, there are helpers, there are managers, there are many other people who jointly come together or associate together to make a company. Likewise, organized crime is like a company. They have all planner, doer, and influencer. When they jointly come together and make a gang and group together, then after that any crime happened, then that will be called as organized crime. So we have studied that what is organized crime, then what is the essential features of organized crimes, and what is the purpose. So we have already mentioned in the purpose of organized crime. The purpose of organized crime is to dismantle large scale criminal structure known as syndicates that operate systematically for financial or material gain, are often using violence and coercion. So organized crime, what they use the violence, they use the caution. And what is the why they do the organized crime? To make a financial or material gain. Okay. Syndicate requirement, the offense means that the offense must be committed by an organized crime syndicate. Means in the syndicate means a group of two or more persons acting in a concert. What is the impact of this organized crime? That treating organized crimes as distinct aggravated offense allows for stricter penalties and enhanced investigate powers, strengthening the fight against sophisticated criminal network nationwide. So this is the impact of organized crime. So let's take an example of organized crime. So for example, a gang running a fake currency business, that will be called as organized crime. For example, there is a network who is smuggling illegal workers from India to any other country, that will be called as organized crime. For example, a gang repeatedly cyber doing a crime of cyber fraud to cheat people, that will be called as organized crime. For example, there is a criminal gang who is collecting protection money from the shopkeepers within the street, within the market area, that will be organized crime. For example, there is a gang who are involved in the human trafficking and prostitution racket. So these are operating in different several cities, that will be called as organized. So these are all the examples of organized crime. Why these are all example crime? Because there is a systematic, continuing, and activity done with an illegal gain. What is the illegal gain? The making money, gaining in power. These are the illegal gain. These are the illegal means. So what is organized crime? Organized crime is a group activity, first of all. And second one, it is a continuing activity, unlawful continuing activity, we can say that. And impact, I have already to specify the impact of organized crime. So first, the after this reading, after discussing this, the knowing about the organized crime, features of organized crimes, and these examples of organized crime, so one can think about that why the law about organized crime was instituted in Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Why this? Why now what is the need of this law regarding relating to the organization? Because in Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita did not have any single nationwide laws which actually against any organized crime. That's why it introduced in 2023 as a um, as a term organized crime. We have many states who have the crimes, who have the laws relating to the organized crime, but there was not a single central law regarding organized crime. So Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita now under section 111 and 112 introduced or given a legal recognition to the organized crime. So now the criminal gang activities may be punished even if they are done even if they are done individually or jointly. So if the individuals are crimes um, individual crimes are there, but if they are done one or more crime, if they are done together in a group activity, that will also be covered by the name of organized crime. Okay, so purpose of the law, as we have now we can say that the purpose of law can be to break a criminal network. So there cannot be a network of these criminal gangs, and also stop financing. So we can see that there are the very much fund which are raised in the name of crimes, for example black money and drugs. So to stop these financing activities, and or we can also tell that the purpose of laws can be to protect the society from these criminal gangs and punishing gang leaders. Before that, in old IPC, there was nothing like these organized crimes. So the planner what used to escape from this the procedure of this law. Now the planner, the doer, everyone is covered under this the topic of organized crime. So now we can now we know that the organized crime generally means that it is defined under section 111. So what is the legal definition of organized crime under section 11? Organized crime is means a continuing unlawful activity done by a group or group of two or more person acting together as a gang to gain money, property, or power by committing serious offenses like violence, threat, intimidation, coercion, and other legal activities. So there are three or five things which should be there in the while accusing a person for the crime or for the organized crime. So we can say that first ingredient of organized crime, that it is a continuing activity. First of all, it is a continuing activity, means that crime are not these crimes are not a one time crime. These are not a one time crime or one of only a one person act. Okay, so they are happens repeatedly and continuously. That is why they are called as organized crime. So there must be that we have already uh, read the legal definition of organized crime, and there was a mention of serious crimes. Serious crimes we have already studied in Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita, that serious crimes are known as a cognizable crimes or a cognizable offense, and the cognizable offense are usually punishable with the imprisonment of 3 or more years, or where more than one charges had been filed against the syndicate members in a preceding period, usually 10 years. So first element or ingredient of organized crime is that it should be an unlawful continuing activity. Second ingredient of organized crime under section 111 or 111 of Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha is the by a group of, we have studied that by it should be done, the organized crime should be done by a group of people, two or more persons should be present. It means that it is not a single activity, so there is a teamwork. Okay, so there is teamwork, there is a coordination. After that a crime has been happened or done, that will be called as organized crime. Third is that we have seen that for gaining money, power, and property. So the motive or of the organized the ill motive of the organized crime should be to make, either to make profit in the form of profit property, either to gain power, or even to earn money, or by through the influence. So third element of the organized crime should be that there should be a the ill motive, either for gaining power, property, or money. Now, next ingredient we are seeing that use of coercion. Use of coercion means that they use the members of the that organized crime or the gang or the group should use the violence, or should use the threat of violence, should use the fear, should use the weapon, or should use the pressure to control the people. So there are some words which should be used, or they used by the or which should be carried out by the gang or the group for the organized crime. There's example: violence, threat of violence, intimidation, caution, or any unlawful means should be used by the group or the um, by the group of or the uh, uh, gang. Okay, so use of next motive, as we have already discussed, that there should be a direct or indirect financial or material benefit for the syndicate. Okay, next, illegal activity should be punishable. So means all the serious crimes like murder, extortion, drug trafficking, etc. These are the serious crimes, and it includes and the punishment of these serious crimes also. So all the serious crimes like kidnapping, robbery, economic offense, cyber crimes, trafficking, this the organized crimes covers the all these offenses. So what are the main elements, or we can say that ingredients of organized crimes? The organized crime, first of all, is a containing unlawful activity. It should be done by a group or a gang, or a group or gang ranked by two or more persons. Next, what were for gaining any money, property, and power. Next, next that they should use a violence or fear of violence, threat of violence, intimidation, and caution. The motive should be direct or directly or indirectly financial or benefit material, and it covers all the serious offenses which are covered under the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, like kidnapping, robbery, extortion, murder, and economic offenses like cybercrime, human trafficking. So, if anyone is using violence again and again to gain money, it is an organized crime. To gain power, it is an organized crime. To earn money, it is an organized crime. To collect property, it is an organized crime. Suppose, let's take an example. For example, a gang, there is a gang who collects money from the shopkeepers. I have already mentioned in from the market shopkeepers. So they and say that if you don't pay the money, so if they threat and say that if you don't pay the money, I will murder you. So there are all the ingredients of organized crime under this example. First of all, there is a again and again they are collecting money, continuation. Second one is that it is done by a group or a gang. So second ingredient. Third one, for illegal gain. For example, they have to pay the money, otherwise they will threat, or so there is a violence. So all the ingredients of organized crimes are covered. Let's take another example. For example, there is a cyber gang who keeps cheating people online by creating say for example fake bank websites. So under this, they do the activity continuously for 2 or 3 years or 5 years, and they make illegal work, means they make fake bank websites, and they make profit by that, making that fake websites. So all the ingredients of organized crimes are present. So first of all, what is that? The first of all, it is an unlawful continuing activities, and unlawful means who repeatedly over uh, for 2 years, 3 years, doing repeatedly, regularly, that will be organized crime. Means there they should that we should show that we should see that there is a pattern. means not an accident that someone is taking collecting money from the shopkeepers of the market. So we should not that it should be shown that this is not an accident. So and they are collecting the money. Last Sunday they were coming, so they were here, and they last year they were here, this year they are here. So there is a pattern that by that he is collecting money from the shopkeepers, and from the shopkeepers, and from the markets. So that will be organized crimes. So now the we are very much clear that not a single individual, but every member or every planner or every person of that group will be punished. Now let's take an example. If there is a gang leader of the gang, so he will be punished. Who plans and gives, for example, orders to for the crime, he will be punished. For example, members and the participants who do the crimes, who carries out actually the crime, will be punished. Who financer of the organized crime, for example, who gives who gives the money, who gives the money for the organized crime, will be punished. Supporter or helper, for example, who hides the criminals, will be punished. So everyone, from every member, every participant, every leader of the organized crimes will be punished. So we can say that if a person does not done a act directly, will also be punished under the organized crimes. So we can say that the purpose of including 100 section 110 can be that the old law, we can now conclude that the purpose of putting that organized crime in the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita was that old law was used to deal with the individuals, criminals, but not in an criminal organizations. So now the criminal organization are also get punished under this section 100 and animal. So and where there were many gangs who was using money and influence to avoid punishments, so now they will be covered under this section, and now they will be, the entire chain will be of the gang will be punished under this organized crime. Now we will look, at that how the law punishes to the uh, who are the what we call as group or the gang of organized crime, who are dealing in the, who are doing in organized crime. The what is the law of punishing these the organized crimes. So actually actually the punishment procedure of organized crimes actually depend upon the actually seriousness of the offense, that how much a crime is serious. And there are different levels of punishment which are given under section 111, that there are different kinds of levels of punishment, as we can see that clearly defines that what kind of punishment will be given to the member of our organized crime. So the goal, first of all, we should study what is the goal of this section of punishing the members of organized crime. That this give actually strict punishment to those who run or support criminal gangs. If- as we have already discussed, that the leaders, financiers, and members and all are get punished, and not a just a person who commits the act. So organized crime, if the organized crime results in death, as we have already seeing that resulting, if the organized crime is resulting in death, means this is the death, sorry, murder, this is the most serious form. For example, if a gang commits a murder or bombing that kills a people, for example, there is a terrorist group or a mafia group who kill innocent people, or who kill women, who killed a large group of peoples. So what will be the punishment for them? So this organized crimes, if there is an organized crime who caused death, the what will be the punishment? So the punishment will be the death penalty or imprisonment for life, along with the fine of not less than 10 lakh. So it will apply. So this punishment applies to those gangs who commit actually extortion, who drugs, trafficking, cybercrime, and there is no one dies, but crime is serious and ongoing. For example, a gang is running a fake scam or drug trade repeatedly doing that, so the punishment will be this. In any other case, if the crime does not result in death, the punishment is imprisonment for less than 5 years, extendable to imprisonment for life, and fine not less than 5 lakhs. In any other offense, in any other case means if the crime does not result in death, in that case, the punishment is less than 5 years, and it can be which can be extendable to the imprisonment for life at a fine of not less than 5 lakh rupees. Okay, now what will be the punishment for the murder member or the supporter of the organized crime? The obviously the supporter of the member will get the punishment, rigorous punishment for at least 5 years. Abatement and conspiracy membership, merely conspiring, abetting, and being a member of organized crime syndicate attracts an stringent punishment of loss not less than 5 years, that is extendable to life imprisonment. So if a person did not commit a main act, but he's a part of the gang and who supports, who is the member of the gang, who is the conspirator of the gang in any way, for example helping in hiding a criminal, hiding a money, or hiding a vehicle, of hiding a murder weapon, that they all will get punished under this abatement, conspiracy, and membership for 5 years, which is extendable to life imprisonment. And for example, there is a driver who actually regularly helps a gang transport weapons, will be covered under this punishment. Next, what will be the punishment who abates sorry what will be the punishment who harbor or proceeds? There is a separate severe punishment as prescribed for intentionally harming or offender or possessing property derived from the proceeds of organized crime, reflecting the law's aim to target the entire criminal ecosystem. So, harboring means who owns, uses, or hides money or property for them. Derive the law is the aim of the law is to target the entire ecosystem. So there are the different kinds of punishment which are given for the gang or the group of an organized crimes. For example, there if the organized crime results into the death, there is a different punishment, and in any other case there is a different punishment. Comes for the conspirators, abatement and member abettors and members, there is a different punishment. So it depends upon the seriousness of the crime through which the organized crime will be punished. So we can see that we can now see the situation clearly, that if the organized crime is caused death, so punishment the death of death, either punishment will be either death penalty or imprisonment for life plus 10 years, 10 lakh, not more than, not less than 10 lakh rupees. If the crime does not cause death or does not cause that, then punishment will be life imprisonment, or it will fine will not be less than from 5 lakh rupees. And if if suppose there is a member or the supporter of the gang, then less than 5 years, for him less than 5 years punishment and 5 years punishment. So it depends upon the seriousness of the crime. Now we can say that there is a very harsh punishment given for the organized crime. And why is there harsh punishment given for the organized crime? Why? Because these organized crime actually spread fears, these organized crime actually spread corruption, these organized crime actually weaken laws and order and damage economy and public policy. That's why these organized crimes are very much strict. They give strict punishment to the organized crime. So law uh, do not want to escape anyone from, no one should escape from this big, or if there is a small or a big gang. So no law is not nowhere escaping the organized crime. So Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita Section 112 addressing low level syndicates, petty organized crimes, for example, lower tide criminality. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita introduces a novel concept of petty organized crime also under Section 112 to address smaller and coordinated crimes that cause general public insecurity. It covered offenses that includes low level acts like theft, snatching, cheating, unauthorized ticket seal sales, organized betting, selling, and public examination question paper when committed by a group or a gang. Key distinction, what is the key distinction between the 111 and 112? That 112 targeted the high level and sustained threats to state security and finance, whereas 111 targets street level or a systematic minor crimes committed by a group or habitual minor crimes. And punishment, what will be the punishment under section 112? That whoever commits petty organized crime shall be punished with imprisonment for not less than 1 year, extendable to 7 years plus fine. So we are pretty much clear about that what are organized crime, what are the key features of organized crimes, and why there is so much of harsh punishment given for the organized crimes under section 111, and why what is the purpose of giving different kind of punishment for the minor or low tier organized crimes. So now we are able to distinguish that what are organized crime and what are other or an ordinary crimes. Ordinary crimes under IPC and organized crime under Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. First of all, if we look at the organized crime, the nature of organized crime says that it is a planned and systematic and continuous activity, while the nature of other ordinary crimes says that it is a sudden and an individual act. Means if there is a group of if there is a gang who has planned, who has systematically planned, very well planned, and who is continually doing a crime, that will be that will be known as organized crime. So there should be a uniformity. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita brings a pan-India definition and punishment for organized crimes, resolving issues where states had to rely on separate, non uniform state laws. So it is a modern concept. Organized crimes under Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita is a modern crime focus. Secondly we can say that on organized crimes, that two or more people are involved in organized crimes, while under ordinary laws there is only one individual is person is involved. Third difference, we can see that the in organized crime is highly planned or highly coordinated, and while the individual and ordinary law and ordinary crimes may be done without any planning or activity. And we can say that the motive of organized crimes may be to earn power, to earn money, to gain power control through illegal means, while the other ordinary crime has personal motives like anger, revenge, or greed. Scale, we can calculate that the organized crime has a larger scale, affects the society at large and economic at large, while the other ordinary laws limits and affects a few person. And organized crime obviously has a long duration or a continuous activity, so it is has a long duration, while other ordinary crimes has one time or a short time act. And the structure, we have already mentioned that it is like an organization, it is like a company. So there is also a boss, there is a member, participation, helper, cleaner, everyone there is so structure is big. While in other ordinary crimes, so there is a very formal structure, there is a very small structure. So organized crime is a new and a modern crime focus. This section effectively modernizes the penal code by giving statutory recognition to new age crimes like cyber crimes, specific economic offenses when they are committed systematically by a group. It has a deterrent effect, means the mandatory minimum sentences and the provision of death penalty serves a significant deterrent against criminal syndicates. It target the network, means it target the whole network of or the whole chain of the gang. For example, for the provision of membership, conspiracy, and possession of proceeds ensure that the entire infrastructure of criminal syndicate is targeted rather than just the individual perpetrators of a final criminal act. So this organized crime, which is new to the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which is new to us, is a modern is a way or an updation to the old in Indian penal code. Now, not only the individuals but the whole gang, the whole group is now targeted. Now, whole chain is targeted. Thank you.